when we talk about integration services, we're talking about those things that actually allow data to interact with other applications, other businesses, and move data around within the platform. And so we're going to talk about a high level what's currently available and where it might fit, and give you kind of an overview of the capabilities of integration within Azure. So the first thing to understand is, it's really, can get you between applications, but there's some key options to be aware of. The friendlier options, so we're going to start there. Flow, which you may say, well, is that really part of Azure? But it really is. It comes with Office 365. It's truly a workflow engine, a lightweight data integration engine, and an engine that allows business users access to the ability to integrate between different types of applications. You can use Flow to integrate between like SharePoint and drop data into an email. You can use an email and drop it into Azure Storage. You could have track an activity off of Salesforce and have it actually interact. And it does all these kind of things, and it's set up to be simple to use. There's a GUI for it. There's no custom coding really allowed in it. It's fairly straightforward. A good power user within the platform who's used to moving data around or has worked with SharePoint workflows is going to find this tool very easy to work with and an easy transition for them. Logic Apps is in the next iteration of Flow. Logic Apps is available in Azure as opposed to Office 365. It does allow you to go after the code, so you can actually look at the code view. It also allows you to create within the context of Visual Studio. It does have a graphical interface similar to Flow. As a matter of fact, it's almost identical to Flow, and it has a lot of the same capabilities as Flow, except we can expand on those capabilities. Also gives you a little bit more around security and some more other things around that make it more IT friendly, shall we say. So those are two of the easy like workflow integration apps that we want to talk about. The other ones start to get into more sophistication and really require development, and but they give you better options around source control, those kind of things. So we start talking in those areas. Service Bus is one example. Service Bus is a cloud messaging as a service option. It's really about moving messages around. So it's a message broker service that you can use. It handles data from all kinds of sources, on-premises, off-premises, cloud-based, mobile. Any type of source can be used. It's highly scalable. It's a really high volume service, and it's one of the most mature services that's available in the Azure platform. Azure Data Factory is another integration tool, and we think of it similar to what we would think of SQL Server Integration Services or Informatica, right? It's not quite the same as either of those, but it does a lot of the same type of workloads. In particular, with the next version of Azure Data Factory coming out, it's called V2 right now, you would actually have the ability to take SSIS and put it in as an integration runtime and run SSIS packages in the context of Azure Data Factory, making its capability even greater. So this next version of Azure Data Factory, this V2 version, is awesome. It has a lot of capabilities in it that are not available in V1 and a lot more control around it. So it's a major rewrite, and it's been done well, and it's really going to be an enhancement to our ability to integrate data in an ETL type of functionality and workflow. Event Grid is another tool that Microsoft has released around managing events that are coming off different devices and different applications. So it simplifies the whole process of anything that's event-driven. And around that, it allows you to focus on the apps that are driving these events. So if you're tracking events off of an app or off of IoT or those kind of things, and you're trying to figure out what am I going to do with that data, how am I going to manage it, the Event Grid really simplifies all that infrastructure for you. It allows you to focus on your application while at the same time not focusing on infrastructure as a key piece. Then I also want to talk about web jobs and functions. So web jobs are part of app service. Functions are not, they're serverless. And as we dig into those, it's kind of an interesting thing that the whole idea behind these other tools is allow you to basically distribute code and have the ability to do other interaction. The reason I bring them to this list is because they're often compared, web jobs with functions is often compared to Flow and Logic Apps, and when and where you should use which one. Now, Logic Apps can actually be called by Flow, and Logic Apps can call functions, and so on. So when you're looking at all these components, Logic Apps can work with Service Bus. It can land data on Service Bus. You can put stuff in Event Grid. You have all these options sitting out there for you to do integration. The key is understanding what makes the most sense for you and your business. It doesn't mean that one of these tools is the right answer. Each of these have a good opportunity to be leveraged in a certain space. Some have more expandability than others, and some require more coding than others. So really, what you want to do is find the right tool for the job, because that's what's going to matter in this scenario. And in some cases, you may need a more of a toolbox scenario of understanding, okay, if I put these pieces together, I'm gonna get the best of all these. Or if I eliminate a couple of these, it might be a little bit harder to do in one or two pieces, but thankfully I'm able to still accomplish what I want to. So this is an opportunity to look at the Microsoft stack, look at their integration capabilities, and determine the best way to integrate the applications you have from everywhere that your applications and your users exist. How can I best integrate across my enterprise? If you have any questions about enterprise integration within the context of Azure and the tools that are available, click the link below for more information. We'd be happy to reach out and talk to you about it. Thank you for listening today. Have a great day.